People are saying they've spotted Jennie and JK having dinner together. People are also talking about some intimate shirtless moments, as well as people posting pictures talking about kissing and that sort of stuff. So Dumplings, they've decided, let's get into it. It's very interesting to go online lately, as there have been so many photos in which people will take to kind of fit their own narrative or just kind of use it as content to talk about something they want to talk about. One of the things that people have been very much excited to do is use photos as a way to show how much they love the members or show how much they're attracted to the members. With one of them being a photo of Jimin, and it's kind of at a downward angle, and you can kind of see his lips and his face from that angle, and it's very prominent. So a lot of people were basically like, how can you not resist kissing such a face? They were also saying this to talk about the ship, and I believe this would have been between JK and Jimin, saying how could JK resist kissing this face? Similarly, and probably like how most of us would resist kissing someone, we know that we might not be in a romantic relationship, which is why we don't just kiss them. We all know people that we would like to be in a romantic relationship with, and we choose to not act on that because it's not consensual. Of course, they're basically implying here that the two are in a relationship together, and how on earth would JK ever resist not kissing Jimin 24/7? But it's interesting to see people have this sort of reaction when they see an up-close picture of the members, because while it could be somewhat innocent, and you could interpret it as innocent, for the most part, these associations are not innocent, because it's not like you're looking at it and saying, oh, I want to kiss them, like how you want to kiss a baby or kiss a cat or something like that. A lot of times they be looking at these photos and thinking, I want to kiss this person on the lips, and it being more of a sexual thing rather than it being something like where a mother would want to kiss their child type of thing. So it does sexualize the boys a little bit, and I would imagine that if they come online to see some of these things, they would feel like they're being sexualized to a certain extent. And this is kind of a mixed bag of how I feel, right? Because I think it's totally fine to do some of these things online because they're intended to just be content that you consume with your friends, just like content that you might use as part of your gossip for hanging out with your friends or at dinner. And I think people should have the right to be able to do that, to gossip and do whatever they want. But at the same time, if it's on a public forum and people can see it, and those people who you are gossiping about can see it, then it can become a bit of a problem, right? I'm a firm believer that if someone does talk badly behind your back, let that person talk badly behind your back. Anyone who's a real friend likely wouldn't believe those things anyway. But even more than that, I would rather people gossip and say whatever they actually want to say behind my back and vocalize it than just think it and never say it. So that's where I'm torn, where I see some of these things where it's clearly people trying to live out their own fantasy of sexualizing the boys, or just them putting it out there so that they have an outlet. But at the same time, I'm like, well, what if the boys see this? How would they feel? So let me know what you feel about that, which side you're on. I feel a sort of similar way when I see JK or any of the BTS members get sexualized with their shirt off. So obviously recently, before the boys enlisted, they all decided to take off their shirt a little bit more. We got to see each and every one of the members shirtless at one point, and we got to see a lot of JK shirtless, right? He was the model of Calvin Klein, and we even got to see him shirtless on his reality show, Are You Sure? Which, by the way, if you're looking for someone to watch Are You Sure with you and kind of enjoy it with someone, I have a bunch of reaction videos on Patreon of Are You Sure. I haven't reacted to the whole thing, I don't think, just parts of it and some episodes here and there. But if you're interested in checking that out and joining me over there alongside with the community over there, then make sure you check that out. It is the first link at the top of the description. There's a $2 tier, which is the cheapest one there, and you'll be able to get access to over 1,000 videos on Patreon. That includes reaction videos to music videos, cute moments, and a bunch of different K-pop groups as well. So I hope to see you over there if you're interested. One of the shirtless pictures or video clips that has gone re-viral again from the show, Are You Sure?, was a moment in which I believe JK was coming out of the pool, and the camera was facing his back, so you could see how muscular his back was and how big he's got. I mean, if I just saw his back and I didn't really see the back of his head or his face, I would definitely think that this was some sort of bodybuilder. It would not occur to me that this was a K-pop star. I mean, even Western celebrities don't look like this when they're pop stars. But a lot of people were talking about how this sort of intimate picture of JK looks really hot, and they really enjoy seeing it, and they're kind of taken back by how good he looks. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I feel two different ways about this because I, of course, think that this is something that he wanted people to see. That's why he worked out. He's worked really hard on his body. He obviously wants people to see it. But at the same time, do we as a community have the right to sexualize him and see him in that way? And of course, the community is going to do it anyway. We're human. We're going to have those thoughts. But is it okay to vocalize those thoughts and say it and talk about how hot he is and all the nasty things that you want to do to him after seeing a photo or a screen recording like this? I personally don't know how that feels to be sexualized to that extent, to the way that some of these celebrities and K-pop stars have been. I personally would not be super offended by it just because I would be aware that this is something that comes with the job, and the same way that I expect that there's going to be a bunch of people who hate me and hate my opinions, for example. However, it's different when the amount of maybe uncomfortableness that I experience would be like a grain of sand compared to what a K-pop star might get, especially a K-pop star at the magnitude of BTS. So I want to leave that open for debate, and I want to hear everyone's thoughts on that. There's a lot of conversations that are happening online, and it's interesting because the boys aren't actually doing anything right now. But a lot gets brought up and a lot gets talked about. One thing in particular was a little bit shocking to me was that apparently it was reported that JK, Jennie from Blackpink, and Mingyu from 17 all had dinner together right before the enlistment. The first thing that I want to say is that it's not shocking in a bad way per se that they all had dinner together and that they were all having a conversation. Because I think for the most part, people wouldn't care if this was true and they all did hang out as friends because clearly they may or may not have been on a date if there were 3 people there. But on the other hand, it is a big deal and it is something that people are talking about because of who these people are. So it does become a big deal. Some people were saying that it was clear that JK and Jennie were on a date together, and this is even more crazy given the fact that Jennie and V were believed to be dating prior to this. So people had thought of, oh wow, Jennie moves fast, or that JK is bad for dating V's ex. It was interesting because some of the headlines that people were screenshotting seemed like it was an article written by Koreaboo that had specified this story. You can also find videos that were using this headline as their video topic, where they were saying all 3 were spotted together. Let me know what you think. Make sure to check out Patreon for more videos. I'll link down below. Thanks, just leave a comment already. Love you, bye.